Hello, friends and enemies. Today we are going to talk about the 2020 album Trópicos by Seatemples. You may remember hearing about this album on my top Latin American goth albums of 2020 video from a few weeks ago. Seatemples is a shoegaze, post-punk, and dark psychedelia inspired band from Chile. The members of the band are Patricio Centeno on vocals, guitar, synth, and programming, Priscila Ugalde on bass and vocals, and Harold Oliveras on drums. They appear to have had one full album prior to this one, Down Memory Lane, from 2017. That's not counting single releases. Back to Trópicos. This album has 10 songs on it, 4 in Spanish and 6 in English. The mixing was provided by producer and sound engineer Daniel Knowles, known for his work behind Dive and Amusement Parks on Fire, and the mastering was by Italian producer Maurizio Baggio, known for his work with Boy Harsher, Holly Graham, and The Soft Moon. Before we get any further, I would like to remind you all that you should like this video and subscribe to my channel for more videos about goth music from Latin America. This album was quite a journey. Most of the songs are mellow in nature, but some of them rock out a bit more in that shoegazing kind of way. All but one of the 5 English language songs are sung entirely or primarily by Patricio Centeno, while he and Priscila Ugalde double up on the 4 other Spanish language songs, and she takes the main role in the final song, Yule. Both of them have good voices, but they are different in that Priscila Ugalde provides more vocal ornamentation. I noticed that Patricio Centeno's voice is one that gets more worked with a reverb and all that, and I'm guessing because his singing is less ornamental, and the same applies for songs that he sings, and they're more vocally emotive. Lyrically, many of the songs touch on the subject of memory. I noticed that a lot of shoegaze and dream pop songs talk about memories, probably because of how that reverby, dissonant sound really does offer a good audio illustration of the concept of memory. Some of these songs take on a more somber, I miss you so much tone, while others are more uplifting in their focus. Other subjects include imagination and emotional escape. The guitar is the predominant instrument throughout, unsurprisingly, given the genre. Sometimes it has the more general echoey type of reverb, and sometimes it has the more crunchy reverb sound, and sometimes it has sort of a pitchy, tinny post-punk sound, ensuring that this belongs in the post-punk goth category. The guitar even gets a surf moment in the song Desierto. There's a lot of ocean invocations in this album, both in sound and in lyrics, so that is unsurprising. All of the most goth-adjacent songs are closer to the middle of the album, in my opinion, while the bread of this album sandwich is made of more typical rocking shoegaze in the first slice and more somber shoegaze with a psychedelic approach in the ending slice, if you want to think of it that way. Those of you who followed me for a while know that I am going to talk about the bass. There are about 2 songs where the bass is the predominant instrument. Bass has an interesting history in shoegaze because shoegaze is a genre defined by the use of pedal effects, hence shoegaze, which you mostly do with guitar. You can also do it with vocals and keyboards and even drums to a point, but just not in the same way with bass. In this way, bass doesn't quite do the shoegaze thing, so to speak. However, when there is a song where they want the reverb to take a back seat while the melody is provided by something a bit more solid, the bass is the instrument that usually comes out to shine, and the bass-led songs are an example of this. Given bass's heavy use in goth, I don't think it will be a surprise for any of you to hear that those 2 are 2 of the more goth-leaning songs. The synth is used throughout to provide some of the more backing sounds and give our music a more dissonant feel. Yule is the only song where the drums are the primary instrument, but that song is essentially the exception to every rule this album has established. This album made for a wonderfully dark and dreamy album. I mentioned in my Best of 2020 video that I was initially uncertain about including this album because it might be considered more shoegaze than just goth. However, aside from the fact that shoegaze, even in its purest form, does, in my opinion, share a branch on the family tree with goth, Those straight up goth influences are all there in this album, particularly the songs in the middle of the album and the instrumentation with the tinny, pitchy guitars and the rolling bass lines. Patricio told me in a message that one reviewer described their sound as Sisters of Mercy from the 60s, emphasizing not just the gothness, but also the psychedelic influence in their sound. If you've watched this far into the video, I would like you to please leave a comment that features the green heart emoji. I would like to thank the members of Seatemples for allowing me to feature a song of theirs in this video. The song in question was Verde Catedral, my personal favorite on this album, about a psychological escape characterized by an underwater world, the titular Green Cathedral. If you like their sound and you want to hear more of them, I have all their links where you can listen to them or follow them on social media linked below in the description. If you'd like to follow me, all of my social media links are in my link tree, also linked below. Until next time, bye now.